Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I got your watch list for April 30th, 2019. And if the market and earnings hasn't been exciting enough, well, Google dropping $76. Closing pre-market at 1,200 flat, right above there. That should give you some excitement. So that's going to be a play for tomorrow. Google reported today after hours. It was not good as people expected. It was still a good report in my opinion. However, analysts were wrong on it, and it even led to a play even with Apple. Again, Yum China, they also reported today too, but Apple and a lot of stocks went down after hours. So I'm going to talk about that, but go over the main watch list. We still have a bunch of earnings tomorrow, so I want to highlight a few of the main ones. I'm going to miss some of them. I'm highlighting my main ones. So this brings up the most important part, my friends. You need to post your watch list in the comments below. Post your watch list. We're going to go over this live on stream pre-market and see, but post what you're watching tomorrow, even the rest of this week, what you're going to be playing for earnings. If you guys had Google, post your positions. I made a play here at close too, and I even made it with Apple, and I'm going to show you guys my play with Apple coming into earnings, and there's a few other plays that we can be watching here. So I'm going to go over all that. Post your watch list. Drop a like on the video, and then more importantly, enough more importance. We're going to be live 30 minutes before open. It is in the comments. It's in the description. YouTube.com/the stock market. We're trading live, open, no close, and we're going to be streaming the Apple conference call. So even after hours, come stop by, say what's up. But even pre-market, come here. We're going to really decide which ones we're going to focus on. But right off the bat, Google is going to be one, and we'll look at the option chain. And I think a lot of people had questions on what will my option be worth. So we'll talk about that when we get to the option chain. But quickly, go watch Google. Again, Yum China reported after hours. That could be an interesting one to watch. I don't know why I don't have it up here, but that one's going to be a good one. And then Western Digital, they got killed. I think they went up during their conference call, ended up coming down. This is going to be a good one to watch, but that was most of the action we had today. But tomorrow morning, we are going to get action out of McDonald's, Pfizer, GM, and GE. So all of these in the morning are going to be ones to watch. If GE surprises, that could be a big one, but I usually don't like the plays on there. GM, we saw what happened with Ford. I think they're decent to play. Pfizer's going to be a little slow, but McDonald's, we saw it ramp up. McDonald's is definitely going to be a play, depending on what happens post-earnings. You guys have been seeing, but watch out for that pre-market, and even then, I think you guys saw with some of those plays. They report in the morning. The opportunity is the stock gets to move. The market really still has to digest it. So watch the McDonald's. I'm sure something could develop with that, but I'm cool with it also going slow and being the cuck. But again, if you guys are going to miss it, make sure you guys have your stream insurance, a.k.a. the stream alerts. That's the second link in the description. But those are going to be for the ones who watch in the morning that are reporting. But now we also are going to have a big set, and actually there is a lot more I didn't even talk about. There is going to be Shopify, MasterCard, Philips, ConocoPhillips, and HCA. So these could be potential ones I wrote down, but we were really watching the main ones itself. Shopify could be good. Shopify was expensive, so I'm going to say watch Shopify as well too, because if those options, again, it's hard to show you the pre-earnings. It's hard to show you guys the option chains and show you the exact plays on kind of how to set up for it. But what I'm kind of saying with Shopify is it's not loading. But with Shopify, we know it's expensive. If there is an earnings crush in it, it could end up making some pretty wild moves. So we'll see if it doesn't make one pre-market. But keep your eyes on those. Those are going to be those plays now. But now after hours tomorrow, we're going to get Apple. I'm going to go over my play with Apple and what I'm going to be playing with that. That's going to get when we get into the option section. So bear with me. AMD, I know a lot of you guys like that. So think AMD, even Micron, even some of the other chip makers like NVIDIA, then Twilio, the cloud stocks. Workday was going up. Watch with CRM, but Twilio could be a very, very good one. Groupon, this is one I think the markets look at a lot. I don't really like playing it, but it could move a decent amount, but keep your eye there. FireEye and cybersecurity, I've been liking them. I like some of them for buyout stuff, but this isn't going to always be one that moves, but I think you should keep an eye on it. Tandem Diabetics, they're reporting after hours. I know a lot of you guys like to play that one. It's been moving. I don't think pharmaceuticals, even then Vertex is the next one on there. Pharmaceuticals and earnings, they're interesting. It all depends on the type of pharmaceutical company it is, but there's that part. So watch that. Watch those two if you're interested in those. Then there's going to be Zendesk. I think that's an interesting one that can move. That's like kind of one of the more obscure ones a lot of people overlook. So watch there. And then Mondelez too. They're kind of like Kraft, but watch them again. And that's kind of going to be a bigger value stock. So we'll see how that moves and what that does and kind of what it sets up from there. So that's the earnings plays and what we're going to be playing. But now there's other sets of plays we cannot be forgetting and a lot of stuff that developed today. I'm sure a lot of you guys have been watching Tesla. I think keep your guys' eyes out for that, especially, based on today. It was a lot of moves. It was all over the place. It ended up going up, but this could end up killing the premium. If we're seeing, higher than 2.5% moves daily on Tesla, that could set up for a good opportunity. Facebook went up, and now this is related to Google. I want you guys to watch tomorrow how Facebook interacts with Google in the sense of Facebook could benefit and it could do bad off the report. So it kind of dropped a little bit. And again, the overall market dropped in general with that Google report, but watch Facebook and how it moves. But I'm ready for the breakout there. But even better, these are all the continuation plays. You guys can't forget these. Microsoft. I like Microsoft a lot. Again, people have been asking me. I think it's going to make a real big push. If it's not this week, maybe next week or the week after that. The hard part is going to be timing, but I like how it's been moving. It's literally it has a McDonald's vibe to it. Somebody brought that up on stream, so I really like that. But there's that. But now going back even, Facebook and Google, because another play, and I guess I'll show you guys my Apple play, and really what I plan to do this, because I know this is going to be a very, very important one for you guys. After Google reported, Apple dropped a lot, and people are asking why. And, Apple and Google are literally completely two different companies. They don't really do the same thing at all. However, the thing that it was all related to is earnings. Even after Intel earnings, Apple dropped, the premiums dropped. This is hurting the premiums, the stock itself, because expectations, analysts had expectations for Google, and they were wrong. And, even Intel, analysts were way off. Everybody in the market thought Intel was going to do something out. They were wrong. So when a company hasn't reported yet and we're starting to see more and more analysts wrong, it starts to make investors a little shaky on the next one coming up. So that's my hypothesis as to why you're seeing that happen. But pay attention. And now I sold puts on this. So I'm going to make a whole nother video to explain the strategy behind this, because I was, this is selling premium. And again, this is the same thing I think with Apple tomorrow with its report. I think they're going to do bad on iPhone sales and any hardware segments. I don't think it's going to do good. However, they've been hinting at it. They had that big meeting. They're pushing services. They're pushing Apple Music, the newspaper, people on the card. They're trying to make services and wearables and other segments a little bit more popping, but that's going to be the focus. So I think that's going to have good guidance, and those are going to be the highlight of the story, whereas you're still going to see bad performance in one area. So kind of like Google too, or even like Amazon or even Facebook. A lot of that has been the story, and it is on par with what we've seen with 2018, 2019. So I think that's going to happen with Apple, but I think the premiums went up a lot. It had a big, big move coming into pre-earnings, so even if it drops, it still has a cushion. It's not like it didn't get a ramp up from a lot of this stuff. So I think it's going to be like Google, the premium, and that's what I did today on Google. You guys are going to see me close this out tomorrow. I sold a longer-term call, collected the premium, but then I bought a shorter-term call as insurance. But I did this to, I sold the high premium going up to collect that premium up front, and I bought a smaller insurance because even if Google did go up, I still could have profited. However, I made a lot more coming down, but even if it did go up and didn't go up a lot, I still could have made money. That's what I'm feeling with Apple, where I think the premiums are high. But then again, I could be wrong. But my play, if you guys haven't seen, I'm down $4,000 on this, and I'm going to go over this. But I averaged and I bought one more, so I might do another one tomorrow. But my play is selling the premium strictly. I already have, I have a decent amount at risk on this for this play. So give me your thoughts on it, and I'm ready for the dumb fuck, this, that, all that. There's going to be a lot, but you guys have been watching. You know what's going on with it. It's going to be fun, but that's my move on Apple. If there is an opportunity for me to pick up insurance, or depending on what happens, we'll see. But I think it's going to be crazy with Google, and I think even the volatility now, after even, Google might be able to pick up the markets, but we'll see. But this could be like Amazon. Amazon did good, but then started selling off the day before earnings, so watch out for that. But back to the continuation plays, there's still a lot of stuff we saw today. I think Twitter was a highlight that ran right before under our noses, and then NVIDIA as well. Actually, NVIDIA ended up coming back down. That's probably the effect with Apple, but they did very, very good off the bottom. Watch those two again, and NVIDIA is going to be related to AMD. Twitter is kind of in the middle of all this, but they've been doing good. You guys could watch even Snapchat in conjunction. But those are going to be in play. The value stocks, I know Home Depot as well. A lot of people think we've been sleeping on it, or it's been going back and forth. I want the big moves on Home Depot to try to get something, but keep your eye out that. Even value stocks, don't forget about Starbucks and the ones that reported. Even Walmart in this drama with Amazon. I like Amazon as well too. I'm still trying to set up a play on that, but now let's go to a different set, and I'll talk about more of my favorite plays here. So let's go to the option chain. I want to get to my favorite plays because now these are the ones to watch. UPS. I like this a lot. I got next week contracts, so we put these out, and even then I added that to the stream alerts. Now at least I'm saying new stream activity, and I say which stock it is in the direction, so you guys have an idea to make it easier. But if you missed it, we played these today. I got the May 10th 108s. We got them for like $30-something, I think. So we're down on them, but I like these contracts. So that's what I'm saying. Watch UPS both this week and next week. I got the next week. I don't think they're that bad, but I'm waiting for the bounce on it. FedEx as well too, but these contracts, both the next week's and this week's UPS, FedEx are great. I prefer UPS a little better because it was cheaper. However, FedEx has been showing to move a lot more so far in all of this. So that's kind of what I'm worried about, but that's also what I'm playing with that. But I like FedEx. I like UPS. These are going to be great companies to be watching here in the next week or two, especially with transports. They have stuff related to Amazon, all that. And again, seeing how tomorrow's probably going to be a tech smash, let's see what transports, banks, and everything else do. And that reminds me now for the next level. All right, the next one I want you guys to watch is the bank stocks and Bank of America. You could do Bank of America, Wells Fargo. I'm going to just use Bank of America as an example, but preferably I would take Goldman Sachs, and it has held up a little stronger. And again, we still have that news from last week, like we said, with the whole Goldman Sachs 1MDB case. But watch out for these because they went up a lot, Some went up 120%. And now these ones have a bigger spread, but I think the Bank of America ones actually went up a lot more. Not as much, but a pretty big amount. So watch, see if they hold. But in general, bank stocks, they made a big move tomorrow. I'm going to be watching the McDonald's stocks. And then lastly, now Google. And here's going to be the play. This is what you guys got to realize. We've talked about a lot of these post earnings. We've talked about how to play them. We've been keeping an eye out. A lot haven't really made a move same day. Amazon kind of did, and we kind of slept on it. But the best part about this is we have Monday. So even if you do play the weeklies trying to catch the bounce, you're going to catch some extrinsic value. But the key with this, Google's down a lot. But I remember it did this last earnings. It could open up. All that matters is where this opens up, pre-market and then at open. But it's watching. There's probably, if we've seen anything, even with Disney this morning, and again, I'm going to bring that up next. You've seen it make these moves. You see it's going to make in that first 30 minutes, probably a big one, but a lot of the candles are going to happen up front. But the key is to watch. Does it do this? Does it do what you really want to see if Google does what Disney did today? Pretty much sell off, kind of bounce up a little, but this is, it depends how big this is. I don't think it's going to be that big with Google and then kind of level out. That would be an earnings reaction we don't want, whereas Google could just have a total bounce or it could continue, break 1,200. But either way, be careful. These contracts are going to get expensive. So in the morning, there is going to be I think here's the key. The opportunity is going to really come in the morning, believe it or not, if there is a confirmed direction one way and you catch it early. If not, and it's a cuck fest, it's going to be interesting to see how the contracts stay up with that value. I have Disney up there. I don't have the Google, but I don't know why the Google chart's there, man. This thing's all over the place. But even then, my last one is Disney. I want you guys to watch this. I know you guys are asking plays. People are saying, should we get it? I like how it's held up. It did its thing. It was a big, big move today, and that was strong. But some of these contract prices are very expensive to say Disney's going to go up a lot more. So I'm waiting a little bit, even looking for next week, but I'm keeping Disney on watch, and I know you guys have it. And a lot of people have, I said it today on stream. I think the biggest issue that everybody's focusing on Disney is that a lot of people had contracts with time. They were in Disney before, and now it's like, oh, wait, what do I do? How to manage it? Think, roll over, do what you need to do with your profits. That's what I'm doing. I still have this Qualcomm. You guys saw that $40 to $1,300 right there. I'm going to flip that before earnings. I'm going to roll over out of it. I'm up a lot. It has a lot of time, but I'm going to sell out, take profit, roll to a cheaper contract, and just go from there. So do that. Be safe. Be smart with it. Nothing too crazy, but that is, I think, most of the plays. Oh, I forgot. 2 more. Well, 3, actually. We're going to get HCA tomorrow, Healthcare Centers of America. We got Tenet today after hours, but watch stuff with healthcare, but specifically and I remember somebody brought this up on stream, and we had a play on it, and I've noticed, actually, these surprisingly just started going up in my portfolio once therapeutics. Now, these are already up 50%. I have the June puts on this, but they got a buyout, and then they withdrew the buyout offer. There's some drama with it if you guys want to look out, but this could be one that could randomly make a big move, either up or down. It's hard to say. It's really confusing, but I'm noticing those contracts are moving, and you see that looks like the buyout. It hasn't really moved much. So how this is developing is going to be interesting. I have some allergen graveyards, but watch, healthcare in general. United Health was really crazy today. We've been watching that. And you guys are, again, I put out the strategy last week. I said when I played it in the last 2 weeks how we played it, you let it do its thing Monday and Tuesday. UNH makes big moves, but the premium, let it not do anything because overall it only moved, 1/3%. Let it do that and wait for a good time to strike on there. But there's that. And then lastly, ServiceNow. So I like them as well too. They did good earnings and I played them. So I told you guys to help me pricing and options a few days ago before earnings. Nobody helped me, so I bought a play. I didn't tell you guys on stream, and that play is bumping. So let me share some of the different contracts here. I think May till June, but realistically, I like around a little further out on the Mays, but preferably the June. And these aren't the contracts I own, but 310s are a little far out there. It all really depends on the velocity, but these are pretty cheap. Wait to see if they come down, but why I like them, because I know the Mays as well too. I like the Mays, but they're a little bit more volatile. Like you see, even these ones are at like 320. These ones are at what are these? $500. Well, let me show you the minute by minute chart. These were at 240 yesterday. They even, they're fluctuating pretty big. I think the ones further out of the money make the bigger fluctuations. Yeah, these were just down at 30 cents. So after earnings, they're making that post-earnings move. So watch ServiceNow. I like it. I want to see how Google affects it, but yeah, that is pretty much going to be all the plays, though, for the most part. Hopefully, you guys like it. Learn from it. Remember, earnings is a gamble. You guys do not be afraid to paper trade these contracts, these plays. I want you to watch them so you could learn from them. These are educational. Learn how contracts work. Take it slow. Control your management, your risk management, how much you guys are putting out on these plays, too. But it seems like these after earnings is a lot of stuff. I forgot, too, if I shared the Google with you. Well, I'll put it in the other video. I made this one as well, too, but going to be taking care of this Google. I sold the call. I bought a call, sold the call. I explained it a little bit, but that's going to be a big play tomorrow. I want to see what happens with Google, how it plays, but that could affect, I brought that up because that could have a big effect on the markets. We want to see how markets respond, how that affects Apple, AMD, and we're going to wrap up another big week, and there's a lot of small companies reporting, and I mean small in the sense that they're big, but not a lot of people pay attention to them. So there still could be a lot of push and pull in the market. Get ready now to see some maybe divergence between the Dow and the S&P. The market hit all-time highs today, but things were still pretty slow. So we got to keep our eye out for that. So stay watch, you guys. Make sure you're subscribed. Drop a like. Post our watch list. See you on stream. Let's go!